didn't have a role.
So, the
Or it could be
summary is
chief.
mine, and I did sit down to write it last night and realized it was going to be really long, or I can do it in 2 sentences. So, because I either have to say everything that happens in the movie, or I could do it in 2 sentences. So I'm going to do it in 2 sentences.
You should do it in 2 sentences.
2 sentences.
Matt finally
Okay.
learns what a summary is.
Exactly.
Let's
This
see.
would be.
Oh, he's looking up info. How useful.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for, being useful.
Oh, by the way, Lou, do you mind if
70.
I basically just start playing these at 8 in the morning in general, or is that annoying?
It's not my favorite.
Okay. I mean, I can keep putting. I just found myself so many. I mean, this is personally, right? I just found myself so many times, like at 8 o'clock, I'm ready, and then like just kind of sitting around for 30
Yeah, well,
minutes.
I am not.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
No, I would prefer
be
you
fair,
keep
we
doing
aren't
them at
either at
8:30.
Okay,
Like I said, our time is about to change, and it's going to be like a little bit annoying for me to get home at 6 to start at 6. So, like,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
I think
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
when
the
it turns
DST,
into that,
yeah.
Okay. I can keep doing them at 8:30. That's fine. I just well today I have the dentist again. You probably have a dentist again. Do you have a dentist again?
No,
No. You finished
I
your
have
dental
wrong on
ordeal?
this.
no, she has to wait 2
We're
months to
doing
see if
this.
something heals before she puts a cap on it.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
No, they're just last week they cleaned my bottom teeth, so this week they'll clean my top teeth. That's how
What?
it works in Japan.
Progress.
Man's
Really?
weird.
They
Yes.
just don't do it all at once. Like
Bottom
No,
No,
it's
they
something.
don't.
Apparently, it's something to do with how the insurance works. They can't do too much stuff in one session
oh, okay.
Mm.
and still claim it on the insurance, so they spread it out over like 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
I'm familiar with that.
Give me a sec. I forgot to give me a second. I forgot to verify that I walk these people's dogs. They're gonna think their dogs are dead.
Hmm. Don't send them that message.
Yeah, you're right. They probably wouldn't get it.
What movie is that? Is it no? Oh, the man.
I
Dogs
made that
Go to
up.
Heaven.
I wrote it because I'm funny.
I was thinking about the man who knew too little, where he's trying to act. My dog is
It's been
dead.
so long.
My dog is dead. He's trying to muster up some.
My mom is
some
dad.
tears. 72. Do we say that already? Did Mark say that?
I almost said it.
You almost said it. Okay, so I'm not wrong about that. Okay, that's good to know.
In at number 72, it's the alternate title for Frank Herbert's Dude.
Arrakis World? That could have been
Arrakis nuts on a stair rail.
That's right. It's Films and Filth. This is in Cana Podcasting. It is Matt here.
It's
There-
Mark.
There's Mark.
Is there a John? No, it's Luke.
That's right. So,
I mean,
but
it
we
depends.
do for Spice World, the movie today, we do need to get a proper Spice Girl 5. So coming back, actually, both of you are coming back, aren't you? Because you were here for Wickerman. Brian and Shani, hi.
Hello.
Hello, it's Happy Spice.
She's Happy Spice, and I'm
Okay.
Old Spice.
Old Spice. Okay. Oh, well,
I am allspice.
Okay.
I am the alpha and the omega.
We have allspice in Japan. Oh, you got
Oh,
a
yeah.
that's a thing in the States too. See, I don't remember what's
Yeah.
what where now anymore.
What is
you
an
know?
allspice? I guess all the spices.
No, it's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
You mean as a
It's
unique
sort of
thing,
like
just called
It is
allspice?
just all of
for
its own.
pie.
I
think
guess
it's
I'll
like
be a
sugary
spicy
spice.
meatball. I could choose to be a spicy meatball. Does
I
that
could have
still
sworn it
work?
was a mixture of nutmeg.
Meatball spice.
Okay.
Very own thing.
What do I know?
I'm the Spice Melange.
Nice.
He's
Nice.
stuck. He's stuck on Arrakis. Okay.
We're just gonna run with the Dune references throughout.
Um.
Well,
So
there's a reason I'm stuck on the Dune references beyond just that this is called Spice World. So I had never seen this film until this past weekend. I remember it coming out. I remember the VHS case and the poster being like the planet Earth with Spice World around it. Maybe I'd seen a clip of the bit where they meet the UFO. I genuinely thought this was a science fiction film.
will they meet the aliens?
I thought it was a film literally
Well-
about some sort of Spice Girls world. Like some sort of futuristic
Well, given
I
what
don't
you're
know,
showing,
like
I
a
don't
Bill
blame
and
you.
Ted
That's
thing or what?
Like
perfectly
when Ned
natural to
Flanders
reach that
takes over the
conclusion.
world.
That'd be cool.
I expected it to be maybe a little more, I don't know, more serious. I expected it to be maybe a fictional work where the Spice Girls were running things and then things happened. But this was so much better than I was expecting. But the best thing to me is that Billie Eilish said that she used to think that the Spice Girls was a fake band made up for this movie when she was a kid.
Like Spinal Tap.
Yeah, but it's just funny. This is arguably the funniest Bad List movie, which I guess is not a high bar, but still.
It's not a high
No,
bar.
it probably is. I did pretty much enjoy this film. Like the Spice Girls can't act, which is why they cleverly just surround them with British comedy actors and thespians and let them do their thing. And the Spice Girls just get to be this force of nature in the middle of it.
Sure.
No, I knew what we were getting into. I saw this opening night in the theater. It was my freshman year of university, and at my dorm hall, we all went to see Spice World, as one does. And I mean, we had fun, right? So I had fond memories of the movie. I couldn't remember much about the movie. I didn't even remember about the UFOs. I think back when we did the Sci-Fi Sanctuary, you had actually suggested this could be a sci-fi, and I didn't really bat an eye because it could be anything, right? You call it an action movie or a sci-fi or whatever you feel like, really.
Sort of a spy movie too, I guess, if you count Richard O'Brien running around doing things. And
Yeah, I guess there's not so much horror going on, but
and
yeah.
of course Chief.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
horror. That guy comes out of the toilet.
Okay, there we
That
go.
That guy was scary.
That's like Japanese
Richard
horror,
O'Brien.
right?
That was
On
Richard
the toilet.
O'Brien. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we have a horror icon. Rocky horror icon, I guess you'd say. I don't know
Well,
if
yeah,
that
if you
movie's
throw
really a
in
horror movie, but
Meatloaf.
Well,
If you throw in
Two or
yeah,
three
yeah.
Rocky
Yeah.
Horror.
three, well,
Yeah.
if you, well,
Oh yeah, because when
Um,
Meatloaf shows up,
right.
I'm thinking Fight Club
Barry
because I guess
Humphries.
it's closer
if
to
you
this.
throw
Yeah.
him in, you have Shock Treatment.
Oh, Shock Treatment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shock
Fight Club
Treatment,
was very close to this, to the point that I guess they must have given him a fat suit for Fight Club because his body is way different than this.
It's 2 years later. Well, a year and a half. No, almost 2 years later. So yeah.
From the IMDb trivia, Luke mentioned there are a lot of funny British people in this. A lot of them did this so they could get autographs for their children.
Yeah.
I
is
bet.
hilarious because this movie it financially successful, didn't make a huge cultural impact, and the Spice Girls were kind of done a couple of years after this, which is very
Yeah, they had a
odd.
very short run when you get right
Jerry
down to it.
quit like 4 months
Well,
after the movie came out.
Yeah, but the rest of them went on for a little while, but it didn't.
They went on forever.
Well, a
Yes,
few
they went
months
on to make
after
Forever.
Jerry quit, they came out with that soccer song that I love, on Top of the World for the English. Come on, I wrote it down. Now I can't even think of it.
One of the World Cups or Euros.
Luke, it's English. Tell us what it is.
Yes, how does it feel to be on top of the world?
Well, when we finally get back there, I'll let you know.
Yeah. No, that's the name of the song.
You can take us. You can take our country if you want. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah,
It'd
for
help
the
us
World
both.
Cup.
Oh, we've
For the
never had a
98 World
problem
Cup.
beating your country at football.
Yeah, do it.
No one has a problem beating us. I will say for me, I guess since this was university first year, this is kind of the demarcation line where I was. The Spice Girls is where I start to appreciate pop crap. I mean, I'm not calling them crap. I'm just I'm saying like kind of like like. Well, Mark and I grew up playing in punk rock bands and having attitude. So anything that seemed to have any popular opinion, there's like, screw you, listen to Brainiac. That's us in the 90s. So the Spice Girls is the part where I start to warm up a little bit, I guess.
You accept that something can be popular and also good.
Yeah, although I still kind of hate the song Wannabe. Sorry, everyone. But the other songs I like. That song annoys me. I think it's an annoying song.
The way I felt about it in college when they started coming out was there was a part of me that desperately wanted to accept it, but I was not ready yet to. I was like, I guess you could call it a guilty pleasure that was secret, that I wouldn't have like purchased the record, but I remember just
did.
seeing the Wannabe video, and the Wannabe video itself was so appealing And I found out what happened to the guy who directed that, and it's pretty insane. Like, he died in a car accident where like a guy he was driving in New York and a guy got shot, and the guy who got shot's car hit the director's car and he died. It was
Jeez.
really insane.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's
But
like
like,
the Twilight Zone director who got his head cut off by a helicopter.
yeah, but it's
No,
not
it's
John Landis'
No,
fault
John
that's
Landis.
directly.
not quite what
No,
happened.
this was outside of the movie. This was a director where the same thing happened to him in a completely
Oh,
unrelated
right.
situation.
You're right. Sorry, I was thinking of Vic
Oh.
Morrow. You're talking about the other helicopter guy.
Yeah. The guy that directed 60s Twilight Zone.
Yeah. But back when music videos looked like something and they had cultural cash at all, that video was very cool looking and appealing, and avant-garde is the wrong word, but it had a look. It had sort of a IKEA candy coated look that was appealing.
I'm not sure I've
Um,
actually seen the video. Again, in my first year of university, I did not, just to sound more pretentious, there weren't any TVs around except for ones with VHS hooked up to them. I
well,
guess like we got piped in a university station, which was garbage, but
yeah, I just didn't have cable until I had cable for like 1 year of my life until 1996 when I started paying for it myself. So that was around the time I had cable. But there was a certain thing with music going on at the time, which was pop music and dance music is always driven by technology. And what was happening right about then was samplers sort of had their memory limit. That there was enough memory in samplers that it didn't really matter what you did anymore. So the sound of that time was layered drums. So the drums for everything kind of sounded like a big mess. It was like 5 drum loops going at the same time. And that is the main thing that feels dated to about their music to me, because pretty much right after that everything got really tight and really clean, and there was one drummer, or one drum sound. So it's like Neptunes were like right around the corner.
right.
Well, this film came out when I was 7 years old. So I vaguely remember the Spice Girls existing, but I couldn't tell you any more than that.
Yeah.
Hum the tunes, can't you?
I felt nostalgic hearing them come up. Yeah. But again, it's like you were saying about their cultural cachet, even in the UK. Like if you go to like a school disco or a wedding, you might hear a Spice Girls track. But it's not like people were still listening to them loads years after. It's not like something like I don't know, Queen or Kylie Minogue, where they're like eternal. Like once the Spice Girls stopped being a current thing, I don't think people were listening to them that much anymore. But I mostly remember the individual Spice Girls themselves as like celebrities after the fact. Like obviously Victoria Beckham being this huge fashion character, and then like obviously ending up with David Beckham. I remember that more than I remember the actual Spice Girls and their music.
Yeah,
It
she
also might
couldn't be bothered to join the last reunion. She had better things to do.
Oh.
it also
Well-
might depend on who you are. I know that for my son, who's in his 30s now, Spice Girls was extremely influential on him. He dressed up as Scary Spice in grammar school. We went opening day to see the movie. If you're a female now, even Spice Girls is still a very big deal. I told one of my friends that I was doing this podcast, and she's English, and she was extremely excited. She's still a pretty big fan. So maybe being male or female, gay or straight, depending upon what circles you run in, that
I just
might
mean like
have
in terms of I didn't hear them on the radio or on like on the mainstream music channels or anything when I was growing up.
Oh, right. Yeah. Here.
Obviously, I
very-
still know people who are
Yeah.
into them.
Yeah. It might have, like I say, depend on the circles that you ran in.
I
But
guess
me,
for
it's
someone
fun, huge.
my age, maybe Mark too, maybe Madonna fills the slot for us, like just the big pop explosion of being about 7 years old.
I probably would have admitted to liking Madonna when I was a kid.
Same
Maybe
here.
it's
don't
just
remember.
easier for an individual artist to have like Madonna can't break up. So
Not yet, anyway.
But we wish she would.
She might.
Sorry, it's an SCTV sketch where
They're
Bob
doing
and Doug
something to hold her
McKenzie
back
are.
together.
There's a SCTV sketch with Bob and Doug McKenzie interviewing like a rock star, like a solo rock star, like not a band, or like, and then they're asking like, when did you first like get together? So, and it's sort of the same thing. When are you worried about breaking up? Only if the sun explodes.
maybe she's going to eat the chop fruit just so she can break up.
So is the Spice
Okay.
Girls kind of like the Partridge Family of the 90s? Is that what you're saying? It's something you
I-
grew up with and then it went away.
I compare them to the Sex Pistols, and here's
really?
why. They're a manufactured band from Britain. They're assembled. They stole their master tapes from their original management company and then took them somewhere else. Then they went to like the next guy who was their management, who I think was Simon Fuller, who was basically the American Idol guy. But before that, he was what was it in Britain, like Pop Idol or something, or just Idol?
You mean Simon Cowell?
No. Simon Fuller, different guy.
Hmm.
Simon Cowell is like the judge, but Simon Fuller is like the management guy.
Music
They stole
impressiano.
They stole his cell phone and used that to fire him. It's a lot of, like, for lack of a better word, kind of punk stuff going on here. The problem is that their management exploited them and worked them to death. This was, their first record came out in the US in January of 97. It took a little while to get here. So
Hmm.
this all happened in like 2 years, just kind of, including a movie. For context, Purple Rain was Prince's like 6th album, and he'd been a major label recording artist for 7 years before that movie was made,
He'd
and he had
already
a
put out in
ton of control over
1999.
it. He wrote the script for that. Yeah, he
Yeah.
yeah. So but then he went on to make 2 more movies that people do not like at all, which I've not watched. But still, this is it was kind of a miracle that it is as good as it is, because it was just, they were trying to cram this in between preparing the world tour. I don't think they'd even been on tour yet when they made this.
Well, a weird thing I noticed, the film, like, they're calling it the Spice Girls' first live show.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, obviously, to my mind, when I think of a band, it's like you start out, playing pubs and clubs. And
Yeah.
they're like, of course, when you're a manufactured band like this, yeah, you can be the biggest stars in the world and you haven't actually performed live yet.
Yeah, and I would think the part where they're trying out "Wannabe" in the flashback is probably not true at all.
Oh, yeah. I
It's
would.
not, yeah.
What? That wasn't a
lot of people
documentary scene?
thought
I mean,
that's how the band met and became.
Yeah.
A lot of kids thought, oh, that's how they
Because it's a
But they-
documentary.
right.
They
you know,
changed
this
they
didn't
changed
happen
names
at
a few
all.
times. They were known as Spice, and they changed their name to the Spice Girls because the like basically what the gossip mags were insulting them by calling them those Spice Girls. So they're like, oh yeah, well fine, we're Spice Girls then. And
We're taking it back.
I don't know. They seem like a good hang. That was the main thing I took away from this, is I'm like, they remind me of people I hang out with, and I don't know if that's good or not, but it's or
Yeah,
for them.
I don't think any of them have had like a massive. I shouldn't say this because I haven't done any research on this matter. I don't think any of them are like, majorly cancelled or anything.
No.
I think they've generally been good eggs
Yeah.
doing their sports fitness tapes or their fashion career or whatever else it is they went
Sure.
on to do.
I feel bad for Mel B and her marriage that she had with Eddie Murphy. I mean, I know she went through hell having to, live with him and what he put her through, things like that.
Well, I guess that's you didn't
True.
research part. I didn't research. I read the
I'd
wiki for
forgotten
this.
about that.
How many of you seen the cut scene with Gary Glitter?
Oh yeah, I did read about that. Like
I
they
have not
filmed it,
seen
they
it.
did the song.
Ah, yeah, it's during I'm the leader of the gang, and it's right after the fireworks scene. He just comes out and struts around like a schmuck. It's very, very short. But yeah, it's interesting.
It's probably best not to have some glitter in your movie because yeah,
No,
that happened like
no.
right when this was, I guess, in post production, wasn't it? So
Yeah, yeah. He was arrested in November of 97. The movie came out in January of 98.
It came
So
out in December of 97 in the
yeah, I
UK.
was about to say
So
earlier in the
yeah.
UK. So
So it was literally like a month. Yeah.
So I was saying before we started, like I did sit down to do the summary, but the summary is just the Spice Girls are preparing for their first big live concert. We spend a few days with them. They fly to Italy. They come back, and their pregnant friend, their very pregnant friend, pops. That's what happens. I mean, the rest is devil in the details, you know. I mean, there's newspaper guys, you know, trying to put the smut on them, and Richard O'Brien spying on them. Those are our subplots, basically. Oh, and the pitch meetings. Okay, there we go. We got the pitch meetings.
Well,
Now, see,
technically,
that's what,
all
if
of
you
it
want to
didn't
explain
happen.
all that, you've now written 5 paragraphs if you explain that properly, you
Yeah.
know?
It's not
I'd be
really
like
messed
George
up.
went and that other guy have a meeting and they pitched this movie where the Spice Girls are on a bus.
The other guy's from Kids in the Hall, right?
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I seem
Mark.
familiar.
Kenny.
Okay, I haven't seen a whole lot of Kids in the Hall because I kind of find it annoying. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
and
Sorry.
You're
the
entitled.
documentary guy who's with them, I'm sure he's done other stuff, but when I look at he's Boris from GoldenEye.
You're right.
Oh, Alan
Yeah,
Cumming.
immediately
Alan
got that
Cumming,
reference.
the
Yeah.
famous,
Hey, we got
wonderful
some
Alan Cumming.
Nightcrawler.
Okay.
Got some Nightcrawler in
Yeah.
here. Jules
Who's so
Holland, if you're
sub-
looking for
I
him.
mean,
so subdued in this, Alan Cumming.
Roger
but
Moore.
He's so wonderful.
Oh,
Like
Roger
Roger
Moore,
Moore, incredible in this. I cannot
Man,
believe
I-
how great that is.
I needed to write down everything he said. I think I just wrote, all I wrote down is the drummer without sticks has no backbeat, I think. But
Oh, I mean, when the rabbit of chaos is pursued by the ferret of disorder through the fields of anarchy, it is time to hang your pants on the line of darkness, whether they are clean or not.
yeah.
you see, I love that, but I wasn't about to type that at 1 a.m.
I copy pasted it from somewhere
What's
else.
funny, it's about the same time Sean Connery was doing his Bond villain takeover on the Avengers.
Yep.
Roger Moore was doing his Bond
Roger
villain
made
take
a
in this
better
film.
choice.
I mean, Sean Connery did get more screen time, so
Also, as soon as I saw Hugh Laurie pop up, I knew it was only a matter of time
Stephen
for
Fry.
Stephen Fry would pop
Oh,
up as
yes.
well.
Roger Moore
There
got
was-
better screen time though, and he just got
You're
to
right.
sit in a room in a chair to do it.
and he was like
With a cat. No, a pig.
feeding a
No,
pig
cat
with
was
a
rabbit.
bottle.
It was like,
There's a
didn't
few
the animal
things.
change in each shot? I wasn't sure.
Yes, I think it did.
I think it did.
But anyway, one of the taglines for this film is they perform for royalty and entertain millions the world over, but now they're making a movie.
Okay, that's kind of the plot of the movie, isn't it? Now you mentioned it was successful, and it is actually, I guess, the most successful film made by a musical group. So this did outperform the Beatles movies. I guess
So it
the Monkey's
outperformed
Head
Purple
did.
Rain then.
I guess
which
it
is
outperformed Purple
pretty
Rain. Well,
big.
it did say group though, so I don't. Maybe I
Oh
shouldn't have
yeah.
said that.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, I mean, the fact is, it's not like Purple Rain is like a 300 million, you know, like everyone saw it. I was actually surprised. This one was at 58 million 56 worldwide, and I was like, I felt like it made more than that for some reason. I guess I was sold that this was the epic of the year, you know, when it came out.
I think also
I
this
mean-
is funnier than Purple Rain. I'm sorry, go
In
ahead,
the
Luke.
UK, this was like in cinemas alongside Titanic, so it
Mhm.
was never going to do that well.
I'd rather watch this than Titanic most days.
No, I
Me
love
too.
Titanic.
Well, it's shorter, that helps.
Is Titanic on our good list?
Yeah, this is like 90 minutes.
It is.
Yeah, I
Is
thought
it?
so. I like Titanic.
Okay.
I swear it is. Right? Am I
Um,
wrong?
I don't dislike it. I just, you know, I actually got the Blu-ray.
Oh no,
not
no,
long
I guess
ago.
it isn't. I guess it
Mhm.
isn't. That's odd. I swore it was.
Okay. Well, that's 3 hours of your life you saved. Good for you.
I've only seen the Red Letter Media review of it. I have not seen the film itself.
I think in
You just got to go into it willing to accept some schmaltz, and it's good.
yeah.
I just
I mean, the
I
epic
have to-
length is the main issue, I guess.
I
have
know
to be
Mark,
willing-
Mark's too cynical to enjoy a film like Titanic.
I saw it in the theater like 4 times.
wow. Yeah, I'll watch it next time they re-release it, which I feel like they do all the time.
Maybe that's why I've no
Only
interest in watching
7.9 on IMDb. So
it. So not hated
Huh.
on by anyone.
Well, it's lower than Jurassic Park or Jaws, that's just.
That's appropriate, yeah.
Mm.
It's not as good as I've does.
Luke, have you played the PlayStation 1 game?
Titanic?
No, Spice World.
Oh, Spice World. Okay.
oh, there's a game.
I think I had.
If
Yeah,
you
I
get
think
off
I
the
had
boat in
it.
Titanic, you lose.
Do we have it?
Now
think
that you
I had
mention
it.
it,
Yeah,
I
it might
do
be in the
remember there
garage.
was a game,
Yeah.
but I don't think I played it.
Yeah.
We might have it in the
Might have
garage.
it,
I'm
yeah.
told.
Along with the dolls, we have dolls.
We have Spice Girls dolls in the garage, but I
Yeah.
couldn't get them out in time to show you.
Yeah.
I'm
Incredible.
dropping a screenshot in the chat
Of dolls.
of Spice World game.
Okay,
God.
check it
Yeah.
out.
It's like
Yeah,
a
we have that.
real.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
have
okay.
that.
So it looks like Dance Dance Revolution
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah, it's
Mii's.
back
Early,
in
10
that
years early. For
late
97, that looks
90s.
good.
Yeah,
It looks
they've
fine.
captured the 5 girls pretty well, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Josh looks pissed.
And she often does.
Posh does look pretty
most-
evil in this.
yeah, but like most of you probably remember that there was a big like weirdo rhythm game thing for PlayStation 1 where it was like
Mm-hmm.
Parappa the Rapper, post
I
Parappa
love
the Rapper
that.
stuff.
Mhm.
So, Guitaru Man, Bust a Groove,
Mhm.
etc., things like that.
Mark,
Fun
remember when we were
stuff.
seriously considering trying to order a Parappa the Rapper toaster from Japan? I bet I could find it now.
Yeah.
It's probably in a used shop somewhere.
I looked it up. Apparently, it's kind of disappointing. Like maybe it only did it on one piece toast at a time or something like that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
that's
remember
lame.
what it was.
Mm.
But
Anyway, I can buy all the dumb crap I want now. It's easy to find.
I slammed my penis in the
Yes.
car door.
so yeah, the guy who directed this directed I think 8 episodes of Faulty Towers and a few other comedy things. He's basically British TV comedy guy, which
Yeah, the
is
vibe I got was this was literally just the British sort of TV and movie comedy machine running on absolute autopilot.
23 episodes of Absolutely Fabulous, which
Oh,
is a series that I love
Yeah,
Yes.
personally. And
that explains Jennifer
one of them
Saunders.
was
yeah,
in
Jennifer
this.
Saunders does show up.
Basically
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
Adina
Yeah.
during the PR scene.
Yeah, because I've talked about how much I love trash, and that show is just dry humor trash paradise, basically.
Mhm. Isn't it cool?
I think we have all that on
We
DVD
do,
too.
we do,
Yeah.
of course.
We're gonna do a podcast on that when we're out of everything else, Matt.
Oh, okay.
I,
Cool.
I
Oh.
thought about making you guys thought about pitching that actually.
Maybe we should just do it.
Let's jump on that.
Absolutely podcastulous.
I am like a very large Beatles fan, but I actually would be more likely to want to watch Spice World than either of the Beatles movies that the ones they're in. I'll watch Yellow Submarine most days and Magical Mystery Tour. That's fun, which yeah.
I did
bites a
watch
little
that
bit.
for a previous podcast, Matt, and I don't remember a second of it.
That's fine. You don't have to.
I find it kind of unpleasant, actually. I think I prefer the earlier movies where it's just a story. Like Magical Mystery Tour is kind of like I took too much drugs.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
why I
it's
like
like that
it.
feeling.
Without taking the drugs. Yeah.
Or like Help.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah,
Oh no,
like Help
Head.
is
Yeah,
sort of a
Head.
story.
Head.
It's
The
the
monkeys.
Head is
I
a good one.
liked Head.
Head is
What I
good.
didn't like
Head's
was
the good
33
one.
and
Head.
third revolutions per monkey. That was kind of a slog.
Right. That was the
Oh.
TV one where Head was written by Jack Nicholson.
Yes, I liked Head. I saw it in
Yeah.
the theater.
Jack Nicholson is
Twice.
not in the movie, but he wrote it. Same with the
No,
trip.
but Terry Garr was.
Plus,
Yes.
I think Spice World made me realize that I know I've complained about meta movies a bunch, but I think I like meta movies as long as they don't take themselves seriously. Like it's not one of those meta movies where it's like, look at how I blew your mind. I went inside of my own brain. Wow.
No, it's just like
Freddy Krueger's real. Oh, Scream, you're inside a horror movie and also you watch horror movies. Whoa.
That's okay. If they have a
This
cat
is-
appearance. Hello, here's
Oh,
a cat.
There's a cat.
Oh,
And
I
now he's
got
going to rip my headphones off. Look,
Oh,
there
there they go.
we go.
Metacat.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
that cat is breaking the fourth wall.
Obligatory
Look out.
cat appearance.
When is a cat really a cat? I just basically have a never-ending story ending here, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Did they fly off on a dragon? What?
No, because the guy's
No,
pitching
they
it,
are
then it happens on
inside the
screen.
movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Weird to see George Wendt in this. He seems like he's like one of the few Americans that ever shows up here.
Well, he's there to
he's-
appeal to the American audience because George Wendt is so popular.
He's
When did
going
Cheers
for it.
end? 93?
Yeah,
Okay. Am I really right on that date? Amazing.
that's very close. If you're not, it's real close. If you're not correct, because Frasier started the same year, and that's
Okay.
just
Yeah. Okay.
Is he the American news like movie guy?
Is
He
Meatloaf
is-
American?
He's in the pitch
Well,
meeting.
Meatloaf.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Meatloaf's
yeah.
American.
Meatloaf is
Meatloaf's
American.
Canadian.
Oh, he is?
He was.
I didn't know that.
He's still
So
part of
is,
the
Mark
empire.
McKinney's
That's-
Canadian.
Mark McKinney's Canadian. Yeah, that
Not
I
one of
knew.
those
I didn't know Meatloaf
ruffians.
was Canadian.
I mean, maybe George Wendt's Canadian. Now that I think about it,
So we have
Oh, now we
2
find
to
out
1 ratio of Canadians to Americans. so
they
far
could have
here.
Yeah.
completely avoided
We're doing-
Americans. They were trying to appeal to Canada, not America. Where's George? Tell me George
Oh.
Wendt's birthplace. Where was he
Chicago.
born? Oh,
Chicago.
Okay, that's close to
Why in
Canada.
Canada.
yes, they call it the Canada of Illinois. Anyway, let's play a little game. Everyone pitch me a sequel to Spice World that happens right now. We'll go in clockwise motion. Matt, you go now.
Oh, geez, I'm right on the spot. I
Yeah.
want to make Luke's science fiction movie. The Spice Girls, they vanished in 1998, and they've been watching Earth from their space station, and that's the premise. And then General Zod appears, or a Zod-like character that they battle on the space station. I don't know.
Cool.
Sorry, that's 2 seconds
No.
thought, man.
That was very short. I'll go now to take
See,
the
you had
pressure
time to
off
think
everybody
about how-
else except
yeah.
for Matt. Well, I haven't. To make things fair, I haven't thought about it. So they have become terrorists, and they take over a small like Mideastern country, and everyone has to become other Spice Girls. And the Spice Girls that they recruit for their terrorist cell go out and not wearing hijabs, go and just like cut dudes' heads off.
So the Spice Girls are now the Taliban, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's called
Telespice.
Mediterranean Spice. I don't know. Yeah.
Afghanistan's not close.
All right. Luke, how about you?
So just like how this film faked their origin, my film fakes their like ending, and the Spice Girls have just been consistently performing for 30 years in the universe of this film.
Nice.
And it just picks back up. They're still going at it, still traveling around in the same bus.
All right.
And it's just like a completely straight sequel that ignores any events that have occurred in real life.
No,
Just
you could make it a Lego sequel. It's their daughters and the actual Spice
No,
Girls
no,
show
no,
up in
they-
cameos and say something from the first movie, like
Nope.
really ham-fistedly.
Nope, they've all literally just been Spice Girling in this bus the entire time. They don't have husbands, they don't have kids.
They have not had a morning off for 30
No,
years.
exactly. Yeah.
Still touring behind their second album. Shani, how about you?
I think that they all got together and that they killed Clifford. But then they got caught somewhere in Arizona, and they're now in prison and have created a choir with Jodi Arias.
Nice.
And that is the second movie, is all of them in prison creating this terrific girl group in prison.
Orange is the new spice.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got the
All right.
title right there. Very good.
All right, Brian, what's your pitch?
I was thinking more of a political thriller, maybe where they go undercover and become Republicans to destroy the Republican Party from within.
All right. They're like all trad wives, and
They're
like,
all but then they start injecting their wokefulness into the campaigns, and pretty soon they're the party of peace, love, and understanding.
I love that. I love
Spice.
that you inserted them directly into American politics.
Why don't we combine that with
Well, they're like
Mark's
political
idea?
refugees from England or something. I don't know.
We'll combine that
Oh,
with
yeah.
Mark's idea, and then
They
we'll
bring
have,
the
like,
bus with them, but they paint it red, white, and blue.
Oh, yeah.
American
Yeah.
stars.
the
They just
Manchurian
trick
spice,
everyone.
That's what I want.
They tell all the Republicans that that's the Confederate flag, and they just believe them.
No, really, this is American. You need this.
Yeah,
now.
see, it's
It's-
American.
Yeah.
Daughter,
Yeah. There you
God
go.
save the queen. All right.
It's red, white, and blue. It's basically the same.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. Unless
Yeah,
you're
just like
colorblind.
France. France is also America.
Right.
Same-
Yeah,
same
and
thing.
Russia.
And
Mhm.
Russia,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm.
Lots of red, white, and blue.
Thailand's America.
Isn't North Korea red, white, and blue too?
That's right. North Korea is America now.
And Japan is red
Hey.
and white, so you
So
need
we're
the blue.
2/3 America.
Yeah.
Well, um,
Uh,
I found a 10-star review that I
I was going
I-
to say briefly, there's a scene in this film where, like, the no morning off scene, right? Where the Spice Girls are about to rebel about the fact they don't get any time off and they work like dogs.
Mm.
And then they're all like, "Nah, we're just kidding. We're fine with it, really." And I can just picture in my head like the studio execs looking at the scene and being like, "No, you can't tell them that then it's bad that they work this much. Change it so that they actually say it's fine."
I expect that
it's
more in a Japanese
possible.
thing.
Don't put
Yeah.
any ideas into their heads. Come
Sony
on.
wouldn't overwork you.
I think this was like Polydor or something, one of those kind of smaller labels, because there was something in the trivia about them having trouble financing it, which is
Well, yeah, like at the end where they have to use a little toy bus for the jump because
Oh, that was fantastic. I
that
mean,
was
that
a
was a
great
meta
gag.
joke, though.
Yeah.
That's the exact moment the budget ran out.
well think about all the stories about like the celebrities taking roles just to get autographs. I bet they weren't getting paid anything, or they probably took okay,
Chump
Polygram
change.
financed the film's budget and planned on
threw a
releasing
few
it.
quid at them. Physically threw the quid at them.
Okay, so as a cost-cutting measure, Polygram instead decided to retain domestic rights as well as finding a distributor to release in the US. A rough cut was shown to various distributors, all of whom turned it down. They ultimately sold it to Columbia Pictures, and then Columbia did some editing. And I think part of the editing was removing Princess Diana references.
Oh, right. I was about to say they gave
Well,
me
it's
the
'cause she had
abridged
just
Spice World.
passed.
Yeah.
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 And Gary.
The poster is
Yeah,
bizarre.
and Gianni
here.
Versace.
And a line from Elton John.
Oh,
Gianni
Versace.
Versace, yeah, Gianni
Yeah.
Versace, yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
they
were-
got a line from Elton John too. When they kiss him,
Yeah.
and he says, "You that wouldn't happen with Take That." The band Take That.
Take that.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a band called Take That, which
Robbie
Stephen-
Williams is from Take That.
and Gary Barlow.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Which Stephen Fry, he makes reference to Hootie and the Blowfish, which is Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yes.
But in the
Yeah.
UK version, he says Gary Barlow, who's from
Mhm.
Take That. Still the
Interesting.
reference.
So take that was canceled basically in this film.
Yeah, Take That. Well, in America,
But only in America.
but only in America. But they did cut the Elton John line when they kiss him. Yes.
I have a couple thoughts. One, just on the movie. So I haven't watched too much of the show, but I kind of felt like this almost had like Family Guy plot structure.
By the way,
Kinda.
it cuts away to little.
It does the cutaways, and then nothing's really happening in the main.
The Family Guy does
story
have a
either.
plot, Simpson style.
Well, I mean, this has a plot.
just
so
also does a
doesn't-
bunch of cutaways for its gags.
But I was sitting there wondering. I mean, I guess the monkeys did cutaways. It's been a while. Did
Lots
they?
of cutaways.
Yeah,
yes.
so yeah, I'm
had
just
Scrub,
associating
had
with
Scrub
Family
started
Guy.
at this point? I think it had it.
Nah, I think that's a few years later.
Yeah.
The other one is I'm sure Mark's looking at it because he's on the wiki, but the poster for this movie is bizarre. It says Spice World and like it's like the size of the stuff at the bottom. It says Spice World, and then it says the movie in giant letters with the tagline, "They don't just sing," suggesting they also jump because that's what they're doing. It's a weird poster. I mean, come on, like you mentioned the VHS box. That's iconic. The world in their front of the world and it's Spice World. Why is that not the poster?
I'm
Well,
sure there's
I'm
more
looking-
than one poster.
It was all post. Yeah, there's more.
Here's
than one.
here's another poster that says, "You say you want a revolution?" ? Like what? Does that,
The Spice
so-
Revolution.
okay.
That
They
makes
were
sense.
known
Do we
as-
know-
They were
Yeah.
known as the Fab Five, which
Right.
I think Duran Duran was also known as the Fab Five. Everyone who was more than
Also, the
four
Beatles
known
was
as
Fab Four, yeah.
I feel more like you're lying about Duran Duran. I
Good.
believe you about the Spice Girls.
No, there was a point when Duran Duran was known as the Fab Five. I don't know if it was as big as. It's kind of ridiculous that they'll just name anything that's not four people will be the Fab in the number of if they're big enough.
Mhm.
Well, of course, the monkeys got to be the prefab 4, which was
The
always fun.
prefab, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this technically is the prefab 5, right?
monkeys are much better actors though than the Beatles or the Spice
Weren't
Girls.
the Ruddles
True.
also called the Prefab Four? Or were they called something else?
I think there's something
forget.
else.
Let's see.
Oh
I
my
guess.
God.
I guess. You. Sorry, I just made a really weird noise. But you're gonna read a 10-star review. I
I
think.
made that noise because it just showed me an article that says celebrities who broke up while pregnant. That's why I made that noise.
Oh, okay.
I have a 10-star review.
That's
Okay.
a sad article.
Oh, we didn't even do. I
Wow.
guess we usually do the film or filth thing first, but it's
Oh,
kind of like,
film.
well, yeah.
Oh,
I'd
yeah,
watch
I
this
mean,
again.
I always like to ask this, like when we have a film that's on the bad list, how do we think this got here?
This one I really don't get because I don't think that many people hate the Spice Girls.
Yeah, like
Am I
Mousie's
wrong?
theory is probably correct, where it's just the old case of it's a thing that women like, so men hate on it.
That's a good point.
Huh.
I mean, but maybe there are a lot of Spice Girls haters of a specific people who are a specific age.
Oh yeah,
Like I
like you were
was,
talking about how, Matt, when the Spice Girls were around, you'd just grown out of that phase. So there's a generation of kids sort of between your age and my age who were in that phase when the Spice Girls were big.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Good
I
point.
mean, also,
And they're probably also about the exact age who would be doing a lot of IMDb
Yeah.
reviews.
I guess I still have like lingering hatred towards the New Kids on the Block for no particular reason.
Mm-hmm.
Who
yeah,
doesn't?
and if you listen to their music, New Kids on the Block's music now, it sounds dated, but it's not bad. It's
Right.
fine. It's not any worse than anything else that was from that era. But I can't
Well, I
help
keep
but
saying for
think
that
that
you wanted the girls' attention, right? But they had posters of them in their lockers, so that pissed off all the guys.
I honestly think I just joined a bandwagon in that case, and I didn't really have any strong feelings about like I I can't think of anything I really, really hated from the 90s except for like U2 or something.
Um,
Like and
Me
everyone
and
hates
Matt?
U2. Yes, you too.
Me too.
Me too.
But speaking of bandwagoning, here's a possible explanation. Razzie Awards. This film won 2005. Okay, 2005 nominee worst musical of our first 25 years. 99 nominee worst picture. 99 winner worst actress. All five of the Spice Girls tied. Worst nominee worst screen couple. Any combination of two characters' body parts or fashion accessories. 99 nominee worst supporting actor Roger Moore. Highly disagree.
Yeah.
99 nominee worst screenplay, worst new star, all five of the Spice Girls, worst original song. The nominees for all of this thing. Oh, for the song Too Much.
What? Too much is fine.
The Stinkers Awards. Anyway,
Ooh, the Stinkers
it
Awards.
won 2 Stinker Awards and was nominated.
They were nominated for favorite movie actress. All five Spice Girls for favorite movie actress at the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards. You got that.
I think people who were a certain age when this came out were probably the people who ran the Razzies, who were probably in their 30s or 40s, were like, I hate this, and that's and they influenced other people. Maybe
Yeah,
we
they just
come
managed to
into
get their
these.
stamp on it, and then it's stuck, right?
There are a lot of people who come into things being like, I'm coming into this decided that I will hate it, and then I do. It's just I don't know, maybe if I went into this thinking that I would hate it and really being sure I would hate it and not liking the music, if this had been like the Bare Naked Ladies or something, I might have hated it.
Okay, yeah.
Then it would have been Canadian.
I give you a bit of the professional reviews before we do 10 stars, which Roger Ebert gave it 1/2 of a star and listed as one of his most hated films, saying the Spice Girls are easier to tell apart than the Mutant Ninja Turtles, but as a small consolation, what can you say about five women whose principal distinguishing characteristic is that they have different names? So they're so detached they can't even successfully lip sync their own songs. That's from that year. I like how he says Mutant Ninja Turtles, which you could say he's being old and stupid, but he's smart. It's 10 years after the Ninja Turtles, so they're not teenagers anymore, right?
Sure, that's an awful lot of benefit of the doubt you're giving him, but
Yeah.
I respect it.
And then there's a 2019 review, a reassessment with the Alice Vincent Daily Telegraph saying that suggesting this is the if you want to see the cool Britannia thing, this is the best pop culture relic to do it. Luke, how do you feel about that? If I want to feel cool Britannia, I go here.
Yeah, 90s was probably when most people still liked Britain in Britain. So it is a good time for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean you could like because Austin Powers, that's Mike Myers. That can't be that, you know? What else is there that
Again
would
with
be
the
up in the running?
Canadians.
Highly
But
accurate, I would
around this
say.
time was also like Pierce Brosnan Bond, which was also very that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I guess this maybe the fact that this doesn't have much of a plot is why it can be the main source for that, because you just look at it and listen to it, and
Yeah, it's just a string of cameos and a Union Jack bus driving around British locations, and yeah,
like
And
we did
aliens.
Avengers. We did Avengers, and that might have been kind of trying to do it too, but again, it got caught up in too much plot.
Avengers had a lot of problems that this doesn't have. I
True.
think.
yeah.
But it was nice and colorful like this. They're
It
both
was a
very
fun
nice
watch,
and colorful movies.
in my opinion. But
This
it's
was
like
a monkeys episode, like a bunch of monkeys episodes, kind of like just thrown together, but with girls, and a lot of stars and celebrities, and
Yeah, that was the
it was
template.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
you know,
feel.
they're a fun hang. I did
Mhm.
read something kind of interesting where it talked about the Spice Girls being like appropriating lad culture for women. And does anybody
Men
know
would
anything
say
about
that.
lad culture? Yeah, I remember coming across this term a long time ago, and it is kind of like let's hang out and have a beer. Like that's the overwhelming vibe of this. And
That's
yeah,
lad culture.
I like that
'Cause
better
women
coming
don't
from
do that.
women. I like that better coming from no, I like that better coming from women because I assume that if I have a beer with these women, they're not going to start like being annoying. I mean, not to like throw men under the bus, but some of you guys, when when you get drunk, you get a little pushy and a little bit know-it-allsy, and
Yeah, women don't usually
No,
come
the
to
pub.
fisticuffs when we've had a few.
yeah.
Oh, you haven't been drinking in the UK much.
Oh well.
No, I suppose I
You've
haven't.
been hanging out in the wrong pubs.
Hey, this is fun. You can actually see the bus at Island Harbor Marina on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah,
And
cool.
it's an Airbnb now. Did you see that?
Airbus and bus.
Yeah, Airbus and bus.
Airbus and bus, yes.
Was it a Doctor Who reference that their bus was bigger on the inside?
Yes.
I was going
And
to say
there's an
that.
aquarium in it.
There's an
Yeah.
aquarium.
There is.
It's definitely a TARDIS.
It's totally a TARDIS.
Hey, there actually was a sequel in the works in 2019, an animated sequel to Spice World, but with all 5 of them saying they do the voice. I'm gonna guess the film would feature the band as superheroes, not as the Taliban. Mark, sorry, but
I mean,
that's 2019.
same
I'm
thing.
guessing that got maybe derailed and forgotten about since. So it's just an interesting paragraph.
Well, maybe
on
if
Wiki.
Disney just buys them as part of the Marvel MCU, right?
Were they in the pokey?
No. Look, I am personally offended that Denis Villeneuve did not put Spice Girls music in his Dune films. Even just orchestral arrangements of it. Like just do it. And all of them,
No. They should have been Fremen.
many
They
of
should just
them-
in the background
yeah,
Fremen.
just put them in it. They're actors. All of them
How
act. Right? Just put them in there. Why not? Like really.
Add some color.
This is the problem.
I
if
assume they're
David
dressed as the
Lynch-
Spice Girls as Fremen.
David Lynch would have put him in his movie. He put Sting in there. He just
I don't think David Lynch wanted to do any of that.
David Lynch didn't even really want to.
That was more Dino, probably, but all right, yeah.
Well,
I like the bit in Patrick Stewart's book about when he met Sting and being out of touch with pop culture, and he's like, "Oh, so I hear you're a musician," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in the police." He's like, "Oh, you're in a police band, marvelous."
I just love the fact that Patrick Stewart looks exactly the same in Dune as he does in like Star Trek 10 years later, just with longer hair.
Well, it's 3 years
Now I have
later.
to look up the
That
story.
longer
It's-
hair?
I hope
Okay.
there's an index. Oh, there is an index.
Police
Yes.
band, like in
Star
Fairy
Trek,
Tales in New
Star Trek,
York.
Star Trek, Star Trek, Star Trek, Star Trek.
I guess I associate Star Trek Next Generation with season 3 of Star Trek
Stewart,
Next
Stewart,
Generation.
Stewart, Stewart.
It sounds like Brian's having some kind of
He's having an
geek spasm.
episode.
It's
Yes.
like I'm trying to look up
Duke State.
Sting in a book that indexes all Stewart and Star Trek, and the
It
index
happens
goes
a
on for
lot.
ages.
This is a good advertisement for ebooks.
Yeah.
Control
I
F.
e-booked that book.
Sting, there it is,
There
page
it is.
286.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, impressive.
So he
Glad
can
it wasn't-
sanction Sting's buffoonery. Okay, that's good. I know that's
All
Tommy Lee
right.
Jones. I just like saying those words.
do you play in a group? I
Right.
asked. Yes, with the police. The police. That's
Uh-huh.
true.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
fact checked you, Luke.
Uh-huh.
On
All
the-
right.
In
Not that
real
I needed
time.
to. I just
right
had the
here.
book sitting right.
Physically.
Yeah. Well, my copy
Okay.
of that book was my Christmas present from Matt.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
That 10-star you had.
Yep, I
Let's
got
send
it.
Give me a 10.
It's the Spice Girls from Duplex Penthouse, 15th August 2005. In my personal opinion, I thought that this film should have been made the best film ever made. I love this film and have got it on DVD, and I watch it every Saturday night. I believe that this film has been criticized because it contains the Spice Girls and is about the Spice Girls. I disagree. I love this film because it is good. It is my
I disagree
favorite
that
film.
it contains the Spice Girls and is about the Spice Girls.
Is this did our students write this review?
is.
That is
Our students in
special.
Japan.
It is my favorite film, and my favorite part in it is where there is the symbolism and analogy to life in general. I think
Yeah.
that this analogy has raised important questions in my life and will make me a better person. It is such a profound and immersive film. I insist that you should watch it. 2 of 5 found this helpful.
That's like a SAT.
That does read like it was
answer.
written as a school report.
like they got 500 on the SAT and that's their essay.
I tried so hard to find one that's not. So many of the 10-star reviews are like, if you like the Spice Girls, you'll like this, and if you don't, then you won't like this. So I was trying to just stray from that at least.
Yeah, it's like you're not telling us anything there.
Or people
you
are
like
like,
it,
come
yeah.
on, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I guess my take is I don't see this being on our top 100 list. It is on the bottom. I could see it being in the top 200. Why not?
No,
Yeah,
this deserves to be just in the middle.
This is
It,
your
do- it
5.0.
definitely doesn't deserve to be on the worst films of all time list.
No,
That's
no.
insane.
Would I watch it every Saturday night? No.
I'm assuming that's a child.
probably, yes. Okay, well, I've got one more. I got one more from 2020. Hot. I like the bit where the toilet got blocked on the bus. 11 out of 17 found this helpful.
Is that first sentence and that second sentence connected?
Hot is the name is the title of the review. And then
Oh, too bad.
So no, that's what. Are they suggesting that the toilet getting blocked is what was hot?
yes.
Okay, whatever floats your boat, buddy.
Yeah.
Or doesn't float in this
Or
case.
doesn't float, yeah.
So it's currently 3.7 on IMDb. I don't know where that falls in the scheme of things.
It's
That's
better
what it
than
is.
Smolensk.
It may have
Smolensk
moved
there.
up a bit.
Way down.
Gotten reevaluated.
Well, it seems that
Yeah.
reevaluation has been it took 20-year anniversary for it to start picking up a little more traction, I guess.
Nostalgia factor kicks in.
Yeah. Look back
There-
in
Well,
fondness.
As somebody who isn't nostalgic for this
Don't look
and
back in anger. Wrong British band from the 90s, but
I kind of didn't really spend much time listening to Spice Girls until the lead up to this film, which I have enjoyed.
Mm.
You know, this I still liked it. This doesn't make me nostalgic for anything except for Roger Moore, but you know, and various actors who I recognized and absolutely fabulous. But you know, still
I think I liked watching it this first time so much because we kind of went in with I mean, obviously not quite nostalgia, but we just kind of went in like, oh, we're gonna get into the thing from another country, right? And that's like kind of a variant of nostalgia. So it's almost like we were watching this nostalgically as we were watching it for the first time on American opening day.
like if Baby Metal made a movie and I watched that so I could feel like I was in Japan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
I would,
yes.
I
like
would
that.
love to see a Baby Metal movie.
Yeah, when you said it, I was
Yeah.
like, does
They
that
probably
not
made
already
one.
exist? Yeah.
Or I
I
don't
think
know.
I did enjoy this a lot when I watched it this past weekend, and I think part of that is I went in with such low expectations because
Yeah,
it's
I
on the
hadn't
bad
seen it
list.
before either.
You
I
know,
hadn't
I
seen it
had
before.
no one talks about it being a great
Yeah.
film.
I hadn't seen it before at all, and so I had to go track down the one copy that was for sale in, in the Bay Area.
Well,
I
it's
found a
kind
store
of
that had the DVD, and it was
Wow.
fun. It
That's
was fun.
cool.
Yeah, it's still in the shrink wrap. I think it's from 1999 or something.
Wow. It
Mhm.
it feels like nostalgia for before the world disappeared up its own ass. Because yeah,
Yeah,
full
this film is
disclosure,
very unserious.
yeah, I do really like current pop music a lot. It's I guess the primary thing I'm listening to because I'm listening to a lot of podcasts more than music lately.
Hmm.
But even Charlie XCX is kind of like the fun one, right? And she's still her most recent album does have very serious topics on it.
Did you
It's
listen
like,
to Michelle
Chappell
Roan?
Roan.
Chappelle Roan, sorry. Yeah.
oh yes, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
she
No,
still
that's
has.
fun.
It is fun, but it also is still more serious than the Spice Girls, but serious in a good way because she just went on Instagram and said, "Hey, you guys are being creepy," and turned off the comments, which I absolutely support.
Mhm.
Everyone should do that if they're famous because that's queen shit move there. But yeah, you kind of have to be. I don't know. That sounds terrible. I don't want to judge people for bring up serious topics because serious topics are part of life, right? But fun is good too. It's it's fun to have fun. I don't know. It's fun to have fun. There's
That
the
sounds like
back
the
of the
Just
review.
box.
wanna
It's so
have fun.
Well, it's like a lot of the whatever garbagey 80s movies that we've watched, like Jaws or Superman 4, where it's just why
Jaws
not? It's
3D. We
just
should probably delineate that.
yeah, Jaws 3D. It's just dumb fun, and that's okay.
Yeah, the first Jaws is a serious documentary.
Yes, it is. It's a documentary about a broken animatronic. But yeah, it's nice to remember. It's just remember before 9/11. Remember before 9/11 happened. Remember before the Iraq War that was manufactured.
Oh, the before time.
Before the before
Yes,
times.
this was the pre 9/11 universe.
Yeah, before Tony Blair put on a jetpack and went and, like carried water for George W. Bush or whatever the hell happened.
Jetpack? Was there a jetpack involved, or is that a metaphor?
I don't know. I made that up.
I hope. Oh, I was hoping
I
Tony
made it
Blair
more
rode
fun.
a
See,
jet-
I couldn't
Yes.
help it. I made it more fun than it actually was.
So, in deciding who is which Spice Girl in this podcast, no one can choose one. I think everyone must be nominated. You can't choose your Spice Girl. So I'm gonna nominate Luke as Baby Spice because he's the youngest.
Fair enough.
A fair cop, I guess.
Matt, I'm gonna make you Posh Spice. And I don't know why, just on vibes.
Oh, because I wear button-up shirts, maybe. That's
You're
posh
kind
for a
of
podcast.
you might be the tallest.
I might be. Yeah. Am I
Hmm.
taller than you?
I
I don't
think
know
you're
how
a
tall
little
Brian
taller
is.
than me.
Okay.
How
I'm like
tall are you?
almost 6 feet.
5'11".
Oh, maybe we're the same height.
Maybe we are.
I'm somewhere between 5'10" and 11. Shane's
Oh.
also
Oh,
about
weird.
About
I'm the same
5'11".
height as Tom Cruise.
Oh, well, that makes Luke
Ah.
Baby Spice skinny. He's the shortest.
Short kid over here.
Baby Spice. All right. Well, what
and
Spice
at work,
Girl am I?
at work, kids call him the boss baby. So,
Yeah, I do get that. I think you can be scary, Spice Mark.
All right.
Well, for some
I
reason, I
still-
want to make Shani Ginger Spice. I don't
But
know
she
why. I
dressed-
can't quite put my finger on it.
I'm happy Spice. Except when I tucked in my oldest, I was snotty, bitchy, pissed off Spice.
Okay, take that one if you want.
I mean, ask the Spice Girls kids. All 5 of them have had children at this point, and the lady who gave birth in the movie has not.
Huh.
So that's fine.
The lady who gave birth in the movie has
I
been
don't-
in
I don't have her
Torchwood,
name.
Ab Fab, and Three Body Problem.
Oh,
Um,
Torchwood. That's what I knew her from. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
she
to know.
is Naoka Mori.
Yeah, I think she was one of the stars of Torchwood. I think.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
who that is.
And Deborah,
Yeah.
what's her name, was also in Doctor Who. That's why
Yes, that is Claire Rushbrook.
Oh,
And
okay.
she's been in Inside Number 9, Death in Paradise. I love that show. And Spaced and Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, Spaced. Somebody let me borrow that, and I still haven't watched it.
Oh, it's fun.
I need to
I
watch
think
it.
I've gotten 3 episodes into that one. I have to watch it too.
Television shows are such commitments, even when they're short. Brian, I guess that leaves you stuck with sporty. You follow any sports?
Absolutely not.
That's more than we do. So
I gotta say,
except for
I
Luke.
gotta say, Sporty Spice has always been the one I've been the most attracted to. So there you go. I knew that in the 90s.
I'll take that as a
We
compliment.
have a pairing.
There's
Mazel
gotta
tov.
be there's gotta be some slash fic about that.
I
Probably.
just, I just came up why she's not the one I'm the most attracted to, because in the 90s, this is 18-year-old Matt logic, I guess, but it's still sticking today. When I see her, I smell like 90s deodorant for some reason. I
I
guess
thought you were gonna
she's
say you
40.
smell
Spirit?
post workout or something like that. Like you like she'd
I'm
be sweaty.
assuming she put the deodorant on after the workout.
Why
As a
not?
kid, I liked Baby Spice. I think it's just because she was the blonde.
Right.
I was
Okay.
I
young.
hadn't formed
That
any
was how I
opinions
thought.
myself until now. So
I
Nothing
was
wrong with
sitting there
that.
looking for a witty comment, and nothing really came. I was thinking of movie titles. Gentlemen prefer blondes. Blondes do it better. Is that where did that come from?
Blonde. I don't know about blondes do it better, but gentlemen do prefer blondes. But
Hmm.
I think after watching this movie, I like all of them. I would
Yeah,
hang out
it
with
did make
all
me
of them
like
now.
them a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun hang. I guess that's the charm of the movie. It is kind of just like you said, just hanging out with people, which isn't, well, usually you're encumbered with a plot and stuff, which you don't really have so much of here.
Well, compare that to Purple Rain. Like, I'm a huge Prince fan, but like when you watch Purple Rain, it makes Prince look like a complete maniac who you would not even want to make eye contact with. And he wrote that. He wrote himself as an insane, unhinged, abusive character.
Which one would you want to have for brunch? Prince or the Spice Girls?
Spice Girls, 100%.
Exactly.
But Prince will make you pancakes.
Well, also arguably at this exact time, 1997, Prince was making music worse than this.
And like
Yeah.
8 CDs of it at a time.
Yeah. It's still good, but not, but
Well, theoretically,
is-
there's one very good album and 4 CDs of Emancipation.
yeah. But I was
doesn't
gonna
he
say,
have like a vault of unreleased stuff they just
Yeah.
discovered?
Yeah,
they've
including
been
the
putting it out.
Transformers. When's the
Oh,
Transformers
man.
one coming out?
I don't know if that's coming out or if it's real, but I wish. It's
Mm.
called like Cybertron Funk or something like that. But no, but a lot of, if you look at the credits on the Spice Girls, like the 2 albums with all of them, the original 2 albums, there's a lot of people who wrote on like Kylie Minogue albums and stuff like that. Like these are, they're working with top talent at the time. So because pop music works. Nobody makes their own shit except for maybe Prince. Nobody's like writing their own songs. Okay, Taylor Swift is writing her own songs, but then she also has a ton of
They're all from,
external
like,
producers.
Norwegians or something overseas.
Well, ABBA wrote their own music.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where all the talent comes from.
but that was also the 7. Well, it's weird because if you look at it, like writing your own stuff sort of started with the Beatles around that time, and then it kind of ended. I don't know. It was a short period where people were expected to write their own music, and usually, historically, mostly people work with like
Man, at first
producers
they
or outside
couldn't
writers.
even read music, so it's pretty impressive.
I think Paul McCartney still can't. That makes me
No?
feel good because I can't really read music, and I can't really.
Right?
I write music and can't really read it and can't really play piano. But
Huh.
It sounds a lot like me.
That makes the dumb Doctor Who episode where the Beatles saved the world by completing an ancient god song
That made me so
even
mad.
funnier if he
It
can't
does,
read
right?
music.
I don't think any of them could.
I pointed that out to Brian. I was like, you can't read music. That's right.
but you know what would happen? He'd be like, if you talk to Paul McCartney about it, you'd be like, I heard you can't read music. You'd be like, oh well, maybe the music isn't making itself easy to read, is it?
There you go.
Okay,
Like Paul McCartney like impression is he's always trying to make you feel dumb, like everything he says.
Mark, Prince and Transformers are kind of a hard search, but a Pure Energon was the name.
Pure
of the album.
Energon. Yeah.
I just knew
If
that
it
had to be
exists.
said. If it exists in my heart, for sure.
Yeah, me too. It exists in the matrix that it's inside my heart.
I really want to believe that when Prince made that, it's just because he was a huge Transformers fan at that point in time.
That's probably correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Just imagining.
I know. That's the world I want to live in. Just him sitting in his recording studio, transforming his Optimus Prime as he thinks of the next bit.
Yeah, and sitting in the movie theater that he's rented out all for himself, watching like 1986 Transformers movie, like crying when Optimus Prime dies, stuff like that.
Also known as his basement.
His basement.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
his personal movie theater.
Oh,
I
it's
have
his
not
basement.
been to Paisley Park, but I kind of have to go at some point.
That would be a
it's
fun
like-
day.
Well, I'm looking at the list of unreleased stuff, and it is very insane.
Okay, you got another good title for us?
Under the Apple Tree, script for Under the Cherry Moon sequel.
Okay, that's just a bad
About
idea.
Newton.
Take a Bite of My Apple from Under the Apple Tree soundtrack, sung by Kristen Scott Thomas, who is the star of Under the Cherry Moon.
Okay.
I thought that was going to be a separate, and it's just like Prince went through an Apple phase.
Untitled EP with Kim Basinger, Ween, and Ozzy Osbourne.
Wow.
What more do you want from that than that?
Sorry, I had an article and then it disappeared. Now I'm just
Bach-
getting crap ads.
Wait.
Stupid internet.
Bachwinkle unreleased hard rock project with Bob Mould.
Yeah, sure. They're from the same town, right?
That's
I went to the same-
unbelievable. That's unbelievable. I'm sorry.
Like
this
Stevie
is
Nicks in there. I know
unbelievable.
he came in and played synths on Stevie Nicks's
Ugh.
album.
Oh, the Batman stuff we never knew about. Okay. Actually,
Purple Blue alt country EP with the Jayhawks.
okay. well,
PXP hardcore project with Dave Perner from Soul Asylum. Is this pot? This is fake. Way. I'm like, I don't
You
even
got it on the
believe
internet. It must be true.
You're just making it up.
Did you confirm its fakeness?
I'm looking at prince.org.
Can't prove a negative, man.
Because I just looked at a list of things in the vault and the Transformers. It was otherwise it was like, Anniversary Purple Rain, like live box set. Transformers was by far the one that stuck out the most. So more
Replica
Batman stuff, which
Batsuit.
I'd like to hear, but yeah.
You
Replica
yank 'em out of
Batsuit.
Ray.
What about
Michael
a replica
Keaton-
Batsuit?
Michael Keaton era design built to scale matte purple finish. Matte purple finish.
Is Mark's brain breaking again?
BMX motocross bicycle.
No, he's trying to say, Matt, finish this podcast.
No, it's glossy.
All right. I guess we're finishing this podcast then. You guys got anything you want to plug away at before we wrap it up?
I have nothing to promote except what we already do.
Yeah, you show up one. I guess that's
I
more
have
of a
no
Shani
response
question.
to that.
Okay.
I
Well,
have
then-
one more thing to plug.
Sure.
Jupiter Ascending, shelved video for accompanying movie featuring Channing Tatum in character as a breakdancing space roller skating werewolf.
Oh, Lord help me.
And that's the plug today, is it? Okay.
One more. Joker 2, a collection of songs written for Jared Leto, including the focus track Thirsty. Anyway, if you would like to go into Prince's vault and find all this stuff, you could follow us on patreon.com at podcastius. Send us money so we
That's
can break
false
into
advertising.
Prince's
That's extremely false advertising. You have to make it more vague.
If you
you-
get us up to $1,000 a month, we'll perform an elaborate heist and steal all of Prince's unreleased albums, put them on the internet.
Yes, and
Brian will wear these shoes.
Oh, shit.
wow. If we can get to 2,000, then Luke will fight Prince's security team in a steel cage.
How about this? If you join us on Patreon at Podcastio Podcastis, you will feel what it is like to be baptized in the waters of Lake. Oh God, what's the lake?
Minnetonka.
Thank you. I knew you'd do it.
Anyway,
Our listeners, go and spice up your life.
Okay, I've been not. Yeah, I was waiting for everyone to do that. So
I'm glad
that's
you did
cool.
that, Luke, because I felt kind of bad that I hadn't talked about the Spice Girls for like 15 minutes.
And it's time to
Yes,
hang your pants on the hook of darkness.
I cannot
I
believe.
don't wear pants.
Yes, exactly.
The problem with Minnetonka is I wanted to add more syllables, like Minnetonka or something, right?
I don't know what that.
Minnetonka.
The home of Tonka toys.
Well, apparently
Matt,
it's a
stop the
child.
recording.
Okay. And